All right, our program continues this morning. We got to witness just some exceptional play up here. We were in the presence of such talent, 4 wonderful schools, and of course, all of you out there share in the glory of this wonderful morning here. Before we present the final awards, we are honored to have the Deputy Secretary of the Department of Energy, Dr. David Turk, with us today. And to introduce him, it's my pleasure to invite Dr. Azmaret Asafal Berhe, the Director of the U.S. Department of Energy Office of Science, who those of you who were here last summer in July at the Bolger Center witnessed a wonderful address from Dr. Berhe. So nice to have you here, ma'am. Come on up.
Hello, everyone. I didn't appreciate how dark it is looking at the audience from there. This is a wonderful event. As you heard, I am currently serving as the director of the Office of Science, and folks from our office are the ones that manage all of this, and multiple people from the national labs, the Department of Energy's national labs, the alumni, all the staff that made this possible. This is an incredible event that is really an honor to be here with you all. And I just want to thank them all for making it possible. All your coaches and your teachers and everybody that got you here and made this possible. Please join me in giving everybody a round of applause for our thanks. I'm really honored and to be here with you all, and really proud of everything that you've all accomplished, all the students, and how far you've come. Congratulations to the winners, and I know that every single one of you here is a winner. It took a lot of work to get to this point, and I really want to congratulate all of you for the hard work and dedication that you've showed and everything that you've done to come here. It's just an incredibly awesome thing, and as a scientist myself and a professor, it's a delight to kind of witness everything that you do here. So I want to take a moment to revel in what we're doing right here now, right? So this is the National Science Bowl's final, and the National Science Bowl has been a thing for 33 years now. This year, you're here because you're in the top 68 high schools and top 47 middle school teams that took part in the National Science Bowl, regional competitions that were held across the country. And I'm excited today that we get to crown the 2023 national champions. This is huge. More than 550 students from 44 states, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands are participating in the national finals this year. It's great to be able to be here together, of course, in person after the last couple of years that we had, and of course, during the pandemic, that it was mostly remote. And someday, I hope to see each and every one of you having some career that has to do with science, and maybe even working in one of our amazing national laboratories. And in some way moving forward on your personal path of discovery, whether you become teachers, scientists in government, in academia, in industry, or any other job that allows you to have a role in science. And if it's possible to turn the lights on, I wanted to take a moment to capture this incredible day and event. So I hope you'll all indulge me in taking a selfie with me. All right? And we're gonna do a video selfie where I would appreciate it if everybody could shout "Science" as loud as possible. Okay? 1, 2, 3, go. Science! Thank you all. You're all amazing. Thank you. And today I have the honor of introducing the U.S. Deputy Secretary of Energy, David Turk. If you haven't already, you will soon discover how amazing Deputy Secretary Turk is, and I can't wait to tell you a little bit about him. I can't wait for you to hear a little bit about him. The Department of Energy is the nation's solutions department, as the Secretary likes to say. And we believe you're delivering the solutions that the nation needs right now. And at the Office of Science, of course, we believe a lot of the solutions start with science. Addressing the climate crisis, building a diverse and vibrant clean energy workforce, anticipating the needs of the future, your future right now. Deputy Secretary Turk, along with Secretary Granholm, is leading Department of Energy's work to advance cutting-edge clean energy technologies that will help America achieve President Biden's goal of net zero carbon emissions by 2050, while creating millions of good-paying union clean energy jobs and building an equitable economy for the nation. I share the Deputy Secretary's belief in the power of innovation to solve historic challenges like climate change, and that harnessing that power depends on bright, passionate young people pursuing careers in science, technology, engineering, and math. That's why events like the Solar Decathlon, the First Robotics, and of course the National Science Bowl are some of the most important things that we sponsor out of the Office of the Department of Energy. Congratulations again for everyone for being part of the National Science Bowl. And now, please join me in welcoming Deputy Secretary of Energy, David Turk.
Well, hello, everybody. Let us start with a few thank yous, and if we could start with a big, big thank you, as enthusiastic as yelling out science, if we could, for Dr. Berhe, who's a phenomenal leader of the Office of Science. And these kinds of events don't happen themselves. There's an awful lot of work and passion that goes into it with all of the organizers. So if we could give a big, big round of applause, not only to Jan Tyler, who's our commander-in-chief for this event, but for all the people who spent countless hours and passion going into this event. Please, round of applause. And we just have to give a huge, huge round of applause to our teachers and to our parents. Science doesn't just happen in a vacuum, although actually science does happen in a vacuum sometime. Science happens in people because of a spark, because someone in that person's life, many times it's a parent, sometimes it's an older brother or sibling or friends, many, many times it's a teacher, instills that spark, unleashes that spark, and I'm sure as all of you think about what got you interested in science, you can look back at a teacher, your parent, or a sibling or a friend. So if we can give those folks, the spark makers, a huge, huge round of applause. All right, and then there's the competitors, the students themselves, yourselves. I think you all deserve an incredible round of applause as well. As Dr. Berhe said, you all are here because of your talents, because of your dedication, because of your passion. And I want to highlight one attribute in particular, and that's your teamwork. This is not an individual competition, it is a team competition. So I really want to recognize the teamwork that led you all to be here, and certainly those who are fortunate enough to have won the competition. And you join a distinguished group of alumni over these last couple decades, 330,000 alumni that you are now a part of, having participated in this National Science Bowl. I'm told that there's some individual and teams that this is your 7th time here. And I know many of you, this is your first time here as well. So thank you for that teamwork. Thank you for that passion. And thank you for the milestone of reaching this moment. A huge, huge accomplishment, as Asmaret said, just to be part of this competition. Let's also recognize, if we could, just how lucky all of us are to be living in a country that is a science powerhouse and will need to be a science powerhouse for many, many years to come. First Lady, then First Lady Michelle Obama spoke here 10 years ago. I'm sorry, I'm not the First Lady. I'm just the Deputy Secretary of Energy, but I hope you'll still listen to some of the words I said. But let me read what Michelle Obama said 10 years ago at this very event. She said, "America is the birthplace of the airplane and the air conditioner and the polio vaccine and the Band-Aid and the light bulb and the internet. Who knows what this country's next young people can bring us in the next 50 years. This is an incredible science powerhouse that we're all fortunate enough to live in. Dr. Berhe and myself and others who work at the Department of Energy get to see what our 17 national labs do on a regular basis. One of those national labs, for the first time in humanity, which is a pretty cool thing to say. It's pretty cool about working in a place where routinely you get to do things, you get to work with folks who have literally done things for the first time ever in the history of humanity. So late last year, we had an incredible announcement at one of our national labs, Lawrence Livermore National Lab out in California. For the first time ever, we achieved positive ignition on fusion. Something that's been worked on for decades and decades. It didn't just happen overnight. This is because a number of incredibly dedicated scientists, incredibly dedicated engineers poured their heart, their passion, their talent into achieving positive ignition for fusion for the first time again in humanity's existence. That is pretty cool. And it's pretty cool to live in a country. We're all fortunate to live in a country in which those kinds of things happen, and we need a lot more of that to happen in the future. So my main question to all of you here, recognizing the milestone that this competition is, the question I have for you are, what are you, each of you individually, and as teams gonna do on your science journey? What are you gonna do with those talents? What are you gonna do with that passion going forward? My hope, and this is a sincere hope, I think it's shared by all the organizers here, is that you will make, in one way or another, a lifetime journey in science. I think you will be incredibly personally rewarded if you do that. If you get to work at a laboratory like Lawrence Livermore National Laboratory and get to work on a team that's created fusion for the first time, if you get to work on building the world's supercomputers, on quantum computing, which no matter how many times our scientists explain to me how quantum computing works, I still can't figure out how quantum computing works, so maybe one of you can explain to me after this event. What are you gonna do with your careers, your journey in science? I would offer to you, it will not only be an incredibly fulfilling life, a personally rewarding life, but our world needs you. Our world needs you to take your passion, your skills, your commitment, your teamwork, and embrace a lifelong journey in science. Our world, unfortunately, faces some tremendous problems, some tremendous challenges. I'm going to give you just one example, something I've worked on for many, many years in my own career, climate change. We see climate change happening all around us. Due to the dedication, the passion of climate scientists, we know how our climate is changing. And we know what we need to do. Our scientists tell us by mid-century, I know 2050 sounds like a long way off for some people who are a little bit younger. Trust me, 27 years from now, and that's what it is, 27 years from now, We have to get to net zero in our global economy. I'm incredibly proud to be part of an administration that has made that our commitment, has made that our goal here in the United States. 27 years to get to net zero. That's not just electricity. Electricity is an important part of the equation, but that's transportation, which is the largest source of our emissions here in the United States. That's buildings. Every building that we live in, that we work in, that we learn in, that's about 40% of our overall emissions. That is a huge, huge challenge. That's industry, every type of industry. Net zero across the board in 27 years. Just think about for a minute the scale of that challenge facing us. And unfortunately, we are not on track. In fact, we're off track. Last year, 2022, emissions actually went up globally. They didn't go down. They need to go down. They need to go down dramatically so that we can achieve that goal by 2050. But unfortunately, they went up. Now, that's not to say we aren't making progress. We're making remarkable progress. And we're making remarkable progress because of science, because of people who have made their careers out of developing renewables technologies across the board. In fact, in 2022, even though emissions went up, a full 90% of the new electricity that came online around the world was because of renewables. Solar, wind, other types of renewables. That's incredible progress. And again, scientists, engineers spending years and years of their lives dedicated to the problem. To achieve that net zero in 27 years across the board, we're gonna need an awful lot more science. We're gonna need an awful lot more scientists. We're gonna need engineers. We're gonna need architects. We're gonna need some of you to run for public office. We're gonna need you all to be leaders. We're gonna need to be NGO leaders. We're gonna need to have entrepreneurs. We're gonna need to have CEOs leading the way in the real world, solutions at scale and pace that we need to achieve that net zero in that 2050 time period. And whether we fail or succeed at climate change, and there's a lot of other key challenges our world faces, it's because of career decisions, it's because of life choices that you all make. Whether you're consumers, whether you're citizens and how you vote, whether it's the choice you make of what to study in college, what career do you choose going forward, it's on your shoulders. It's on all of our shoulders. ChatGPT is not quite running our world. Maybe that'll happen at some point. It's up to you, it's up to us, it's up to all folks around the world to make decisions about what we do going forward. So let's celebrate this incredibly important milestone, and we'll hand out some prizes. The trophies look pretty cool over there. We'll hand those out in just a minute. But if I could ask you one thing, and that's to keep your eye on the true prize. As nice as it is to get accolades, as nice as it is to get trophies, the true prize is using science to test humanity's boundaries, to be part of a team that is gonna do something that humanity has never done before, to be part of a team that's working to solve humanity's toughest challenges and to solve them on the pace and scale that we need those challenges solved. So please keep your eye on that true prize. And only you, as important as teachers and parents and those who've nested that spark, those who've launched that spark within you all, it's up to you. You get to choose what you do with your careers. You get to choose what your science journey will be on. So congratulations for achieving this incredibly important milestone. And let me congratulate you in advance for continuing your science journey and to take your talents, to take your passion, to take your commitment, to take your teamwork, to help push the boundaries of what we as a human species can do and will do in the future, and to stepping up and helping solve humanity's biggest problems. Thank you and congratulations again for everyone. All right, now we've got some awards.
Thank you, Dr. Turk. Thank you for your passion and your fervor and for your call to arms and for, I'm sure, igniting a spark or two or many more than that this morning and helping to reach our goals here in 27 years. It's now time to award some well-deserved trophies. Let's first start with the middle schools. The 16 middle school teams that advanced to double elimination on Saturday will receive $1,000 for their school's math and science departments. Each team competing today will also receive a trophy and $5,000 for their school's math and science departments. Plus, students will receive individual medals. You ought to see them. They're really cool. And gift cards as well. Join me first in congratulating the second place team, Jonas Clark Middle School from Lexington, Massachusetts. Would you come up to the stage? Jonas Clark Middle School is a two-time national champion, so they are used to coming up here. They are an exceptional school, an exceptional team. They look a lot more relaxed now, don't they? They're coming down this way or that way? Okay. Nice going, everybody. And it is my great pleasure to welcome to the stage a school that is making their first ever appearance here at the Science Bowl, and they're taking home a national championship, the Basis Independent School of Bellevue, Washington. Come on up. Our first place winner. What a way to make a first impression. Win it all. Looks like your mascot could fit in that trophy. Yeah. There you go. There you go. Look at those smiles, a happy-looking team. Congratulations. Our national winner, our middle school champs, ladies and gentlemen. Whatever way you want to go. I think he was going to jump off the stage there. And now, our awards for our two high school teams. We just watched them perform virtuoso performances. The top 16 high school teams are receiving $1,000 for their school's math and science departments. Each team competing today also receives a trophy, as you've been noticing up here, $5,000 for their school's math and science departments, and each student will receive individual medals and gift cards. So join me in congratulating our second place team, our runner-up, University High School from Irvine, California. Looks like you have a mascot as well that might, is that an octopus? Yeah, it might fit in that bowl too. Wonderful job, guys. Pride of Southern California, right there, folks. Hometown heroes. Congratulations, our runner-up, University High School. This way, please. And next, you just watch them perform, and they are a phenomenal team, a phenomenal school. Lexington High School has 3 times won the national championship. This is their 4th. Would you please welcome our winner, our national champion for the high school, Lexington High School. Come on up to the stage. Amazing performance. Very good. The mascot deserves a little bit of FaceTime. You got it. There you go. We'll take 2 in a moment. Yeah. You have your picture? Okay. All right. Okay. That's the beauty shot. Thank you, folks. Beautiful. Our 2 national champions, Bellevue and Lexington. Congratulations to everybody. Boy, it's been a great weekend, hasn't it? Wonderful 4 days. The rain notwithstanding, Department of Energy, Office of Science wants to thank everybody here. You've been thanked many times. You've congratulated so many people, the students, the coaches, the families, preparation, the hard work, the support. It was all worth it. You came here to Washington, and I hope many of you will have a chance to come back. Special thank you to the many volunteers. Jan has told me how many Saturdays you have given up over this past year to make all of this happen. You are invaluable.